96.
How long were you with the Phillies?
I had two stints with the Phillies. I played with the Phillies for 5 years, and in between those years, I had 4 years with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, okay. Okay. Team that humiliated the Phillies tonight.
Mm.
But
I
yeah,
we got a hit, man.
you got to hit, and you got to hit
You
with
got to
bases.
hit. You know what? I say it all the time. When I was a player and a coach, we said, you know what, our goal was to get double digits in hits. You get double
Right.
digits in hits, you got a chance to win the ball game. Now we get double digits in strikeouts every night.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
It's terrible. The problem I have is the fact that they just they one night they look like, yeah, they're going to be a good team. They're coming around, and the next night they leave the bases loaded um uh 3 different times during the games. I mean, you got to hit with runners in scoring position, or else how are you going to play? I mean, how are you going to win? You can't. You need those base runners so you can move them around and get them.
Well, well, I'll give you a prime example of a player, and I think it was 85, if I'm not mistaken. Tommy Herr with the Cardinals
Oh yeah,
drove in 105 RBIs and had 7 home runs.
yeah.
Vince Coleman get on, steal second. Ozzie get him over to third. He hits the ground ball to second or short RBI. That's
Right.
simple. Just
Simple.
hit the ball in the middle of the field with less than 2 outs, and you're gonna get an RBI.
That's that's how simplistic the baseball can be. It doesn't have to be a game of. What I don't understand today is, uh, I'm from the old school, I guess. With a pitcher, you look at their ERA and their wins and losses and that kind of stuff. And today, today it just seems like uh, today it just seems like like you were saying earlier about fraternizing with with somebody from the other team. They just seem to be so lackadaisical about the way they go about their work. The Phillies do. When they were doing well earlier in the season, when they were all hitting, when Marsh was hitting, when they were all, hitting the baseball, going from station to station, or a home run or whatever, they were scoring runs, and you can't win if you don't score runs. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah,
So
but look at the performance we got from Sanchez yesterday.
yeah,
You know, he had to give up a run in 6 innings, and we can't. We had all the opportunities in the world to score, bases loaded, all things, and we just could not. We hit into 5 double plays.
yeah, that's what I think it's a lack of concentration. It has to be. When I see batters, guys go up the bat, and they stand in the box, and the ball comes, and they pull their head all the way out, and they swing at the same time. And first of all, they pulled themselves out of the box. They didn't have as much room to hit the ball with. And the other thing is they just don't see the ball. They don't concentrate on the ball, and they just swing wildly. I mean, if you're going to swing wildly like that, you know, um, I don't know, do it every
Well,
time till you get a hit, and then just keep, you know, doing
well,
it again.
it's very simple. As a hitting coach, I played a long time, but as a hitting coach, for me, you have to be a zone hitter. What part of the zone in Major League Baseball is your strength? And then you have to hunt that. My
Right.
strength was middle away. So
Okay.
if I got the two first pitches were in the inner half, so what? That's not my strength. I'm not going to chase that. I'm going to
Right.
wait. I'm going to wait for my zone, and that's the problem today. Guys just seem to be just swinging, trying to hit home runs and not hunting a zone. So that's what I see, and that's the struggle in the game today. That's why it's a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah, they just swing wildly, and they don't. It just doesn't look like they're up there as a professional. Some of them as a professional baseball player at the plate, and and keeping your head in there and keeping your head down on the ball so you can see what's going on. You know, um, I don't know. The other thing, and I'll let the other guys ask the questions. The other thing that bothers me about Major League Baseball today is they can't bunt. It's horrible. I mean, I see guys try to go for balls out of the strike zone, which is a no-no, and they end up popping the ball up, you know, or just I don't know, hitting it somewhere. But yeah, they don't just that little thing bunt. You talk about what you and Vince Coleman and all did. I mean, as you work yourselves around the bases, I mean, a little bunt to move the runner. I mean, that can't help. I mean, that can't hurt. You know,
Well, that's the thing. They don't even teach it in the minor leagues anymore. That's what's wrong. I mean, it's very easy. I square around and my bat is at the top of the strike zone.
right,
Anything above that's a ball. And if the ball is lower, all I have to do is bend my knees.
right,
My bat's already there in the zone. But
exactly,
today, okay, let me give you this scenario. We have a ghost runner now in baseball, right?
right.
Okay. I'm the home team and the visiting team does not score. Why am I not bunting that guy to third and give me so many options for that guy to get in with two outs?
I don't know. I mean, they're playing for one run, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially when they fail to get a run in.
right. Yeah. I just hate to see them leaving a guy on third base, or they'll have past couple weeks they've had guys on second and third, and they strike out or they pop up or something. They're not down and they're not into it. You know, you talk about Tommy Herr hitting 105 RBIs. He had to have his head on that ball and he was checking out what he was doing, and he had that swing, and and he could move runners, and you could send guys from second to home once he got a ball into the outfield. I mean that's baseball, right? No,
Yeah, it's baseball. I mean, it's something that's been around for years, but I think what analytics has done to the game is it's given those guys too much information.
right.
I just see the ball and hit it. It's not that difficult. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I know what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, we had uh, you know, a person's batting average, how many extra base hits they have, how many home runs they have. To me, that's important stuff. Today, they have all these different names for the war and all this other stuff. Runs, I don't understand any of it. I don't understand any of it. And I really don't intend to understand it because I look at the game the way I've always looked at the game. I mean, they've overcomplicated the game. They've overcomplicated a simple game like baseball. You know what I mean? They keep
I agree.
changing the rules till they keep changing the rules to one day it won't look like baseball anymore.
You got it.
Go ahead, guys, jump in
Milt,
there.
um, when I know you got drafted by the Atlanta Braves, when your name got selected in the second round, the day you got drafted, how were you feeling that time when you got drafted?
Pretty amazing. It's funny. I'm from Maryland, right? So the Baltimore Orioles actually called me the night before the draft and said they were going to draft me, but I must have been further down on their list. So, I was fortunate in college. I played for a former major leaguer, Chuck Hinton.
Okay.
And when I got down to spring training in Atlanta, Hank Aaron ran the minor league system.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
I was around a lot of guys, and our instructors were amazing. I had to bunt for a hit every single game. It didn't matter if it was the first time or the fourth time, but I had to bunt for a hit. And I was like, at first, I kind of was a little upset about it, but what it did for me, number one, easy base hits. Number two, it helped me to slow the game down and see the ball and put it where I needed to put it. So
Right.
when I started hitting, I used the same process and it just worked.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's only, and I coached baseball for a bunch of years, and the the things that I mean, as basic as it was, I had 8 to 10 year olds, and we started out with the tee, the batting tee, and working with through with their swing and doing that kind of stuff, and get them out in the field and have them. I know today they use one hand, but I don't. I'm a two-hand guy. Get in front of the ball and field
Hmm.
it, and I don't know. It's just I don't know. Um,
Well, well, for me, they're just handing hits away now. It's ridiculous.
right,
Every ball hit, if a guy don't catch it, they give him a hit.
right,
It's absolutely amazing. But they're trying to get the batting averages up because they're so low right now. So any
yeah, they're pathetic.
opportunity, to give a guy a hit, they just give him a hit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, back in the '60s when the mounds were higher, and you had but guys like Bob Gibson and Tom Seaver and all pitching. They had that mound higher, and that ball, nobody could hit it because these guys could fire the ball down at them, and it was very difficult. The averages were down like they are now, and what they did at the time, and I'm not saying that they should do that just now, but what they did at the time is they cut the mound down, and then they started to have some success with batting averages, but I don't know. I don't know. Somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way, they've made it hitting very complicated, and I don't understand. And the fact that they don't even teach bunting in the minor leagues. I mean, that's part of the game. I mean, that's baseball, you know. And
Well, you gotta look at it this way too. The launch angle has ruined batting average because I tell this story all the time. I hit in the same hitting group with Mike Schmidt for 3 years, and Mike Schmidt hit 548 home runs swinging down.
right, right,
So you can't tell me that you number one, the launch angle changes your swing, and you swing and miss more than you make contact.
right. They're swinging up,
Yes.
and yeah. Yeah, I remember they were taught to hit the ball, bringing the bat off your chest, like chopping. It's like we used to call it like chopping wood,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, and that's the way we taught that, when I was coaching. Go ahead, William. You look like you have a question or two.
Yeah, I was waiting till you're done. I didn't want to interrupt. What was it like playing with the Phillies, and how did it feel when you guys made it to the World Series back in 1993 against the Blue Jays, Milt?
That was just a magical season. I mean, you look at it, this will never happen in today's game, and it just happened just with our team. We had three platoons. We had me and Inky in left field. You had Jim Eisenwright and Wes Chamberlain in right field, and you had Mickey Morandini and Mariano Duncan at second base.
Right.
And we knew our roles. We were unselfish, and we just did our jobs. And I say it all the time. When the game was over, we were still in the clubhouse for hours talking
Yeah.
about the game, and that's why we were so close. As a matter of fact, we still, as a group, get together 3 times a year.
Oh, that's
So
great, man.
it's awesome. That was just a magical year. It was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I wish you guys could have won against the Blue Jays in 1993. That was the year before I was born. I
Well,
was
the
born
thing is,
94.
if we win the 15-14 game 4, we would
Yeah.
have won the World Series. We were winning 14-9 going into the eighth inning and lost that game. So it was
How many
amazing.
games did you guys win in that series?
We won 3. We were 4-3 because Schilling came back and threw a one hitter the next night. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. We played 5 games. 5. We lost when we went to Toronto that Saturday when Joe Carter hit the home run.
Yeah. That was I can see Mitch Williams getting ready, winding up and all, and Joe Carter there at the plate. The next thing you know, the ball's BB shot out of the stadium. And that was it for the Phillies. What was that? A grand slam he hit?
No, 3-run homer.
3-run homer?
And you know what? baseball fans, if they really paid attention to the game, if we in the eighth inning, if we would have had a 1-2-3 inning against Toronto, in the ninth, top of the ninth, they would have had 7, 8, 9. But we got in a little trouble and we got out of the jam. But what they did is they turned their lineup over.
You
okay.
guys did very good in the series, but despite the loss in the World
Yeah,
Series.
yeah. We're still very beloved in the city, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
You'll always be part of the city of Philadelphia, Milt.
Yeah.
I got a question. I got a question for George and Milt. First, George. Before Panda, what job were you doing, and how long were you in the Marines for? And
Okay.
when did you get interested in the Panda job?
Oh, that's an easy 2-minute resume question there. So I did 18 years in the Marine Corps, did 3 tours. And I got out just before uh, the woke movement, I'll say, when the Marine Corps stopped being the Marine Corps. Pursued different jobs there and ultimately landed in PennDOT because no one likes going to PennDOT. And if I can make someone's day less suckier by a cheesy opening line to up to 100 people a day, that's a good service for me. So of all the jobs I had, I'll tell you what, working at PennDOT is like serving the country. It really is if you have the right demeanor and tolerance. So, yeah, that's what landed me there. So I guess that would be my 2 highlights is did the military, a whole bunch of jobs trying to figure out what I like. I like to serve. I work at PennDOT. Every turn is a U-turn. So
There
that's
you
it.
go. There you
And-
Very
go.
simple, very
And
accurate.
my question to Milt, and George, if you have any question for Milt, you can join in also. My question to Milt is, who were some of the coaches you played for and in the MLB and in college, and who was your favorite coach you ever played for?
Oh, it was amazing. Most of my coaches were former big leaguers. The one that I loved the most was Ralph Garr. Ralph Garr was my hitting coach.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Pittsburgh. Oh my God.
The
what a-
Road Runner.
Oh yeah. Oh man. What he kept me laughing the whole time with that high pitched voice and
Yeah.
oh it was really cool. I also had Cito Gaston and in the
Okay.
minor leagues. But in the big leagues, for me it was I loved Whitey Herzog in St. Louis. Just a great manager and how he did his game planning. I would say Whitey Herzog, when we're talking about managers, I would say Whitey Herzog, then I would go to Jim Fregosi, and then I would go Joe Torre, because I only had Joe Torre for a little bit of time, both in
Yeah.
Atlanta and in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I was fortunate. I was around some very good baseball people.
Oh,
My whole
yeah.
career.
Joe Torre, he was the catcher, right?
Yes.
And his brother played.
Yeah,
His
his brother was
played
first
third base?
baseman. First baseman, I think. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a first baseman.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I also had Clete Boyer. He was in field,
Okay.
and his brother was the third baseman too for the I think Cardinals too. Yeah.
Yeah. Ken Boyer.
Yes.
Yeah. It must. Okay. Go ahead.
Are you still as
No. Go ahead, William.
You're done?
Yes, for now.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Milt, what was your favorite moment playing in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love?
Yes, I loved hitting at the vet. I really did. It was for me being a ground ball line drive guy, taking advantage of the turf was very good for me. I I think if you look at as far as highlights of the career, it's the catch in San Diego, robbing the grand slam. It's always first at bat in the big leagues. I hit a double off Mike Scott. And then game 4, even though we lost that game in the World Series, I have the Phillies record for RBIs in a World Series game, which is 5, which
Wow.
Ryan Howard tied in 2008.
I was just about to. I was gonna ask you about the World Series 2008. What was it like when you were coaching for the Phillies, and when you guys won the World Series back in 2008 after you guys made it to that
Oh, for
championship?
me, that was a fun group of guys, man. They loved to play, and they. I think if you look at it, they probably were more talented than our '93 team. If you look at it on paper, look at the players that they
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
And
The 1980 team were pretty talented too for
yes,
you
yes, they
guys.
were. Yes, they were. I can't say nothing bad about that group of guys too. But the parade down Broad Street was amazing. You know, that's one of my favorite things that I've done in my life is going down Broad Street with these people going absolutely crazy. It was a thrill. Really was a thrill. But I'll back up to after game two, and we played the first two games in Toronto, and we came back to Philly, and we had a day off, and of course it was raining. So we had to hit in the cage. So me thinking and trying to come up with something that would really wake these guys up, I said, I got it. So I got everybody in the cage, and I said, who wants to be the MVP of this series? And they all looked at me. And I said, we could be world champions if you just do your job. Just do your job. Don't try to do more than what you're capable of doing.
Right.
Just do exactly what you've been doing all year, and we will be world champions. And they did it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was that. Yeah, that group of guys: Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, uh, all those guys on that
Brian
team.
Howard.
Ryan Howard, yeah, Cole Hamels,
Worth, Victorino, everybody.
yeah,
They just were great kids. They knew how to play the game of baseball. They were very easy to coach. And what you were talking about earlier, I spent my whole life hitting off the tee every single day, even in the big leagues, 13 years. And
right.
Chase Utley was the same way. Chase Utley is probably the best hitter I've ever worked with. Is
Uh, he got the
Oh,
Wall of Fame Friday night.
Yeah, he went on the Wall of Fame on Friday, last Friday.
Did
Yes.
you read there at the game?
Oh, definitely. I was there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's alumni weekend. We all go. We all come hang out there.
that's right. Yeah, these all
Did you
get
guys get
together
to
and
sign people's autographs?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We were really busy that entire weekend. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And then we have our annual golf tournament at Philadelphia Cricket Club on Monday. Last Monday we played. So it was fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. A lot of laughs.
Yeah. One question: are you gonna do any meet and greets, signings anytime soon?
I do that quite a bit with the Phillies as an ambassador. I'm there all night. As a matter of fact, we on Sunday before we got all the alumni got out on the field, me and Mickey played cornhole against the fans who were coming in to the
Okay.
game. I'm
Well,
not a very good cornhole player. I don't play that.
there's a trick to that.
Oh yeah, it is.
I think George has a question.
Yeah. Hey, Milton. You have a special heart and a special place in Philadelphia. 90, especially with the 93 team. Philadelphia ambassador. I know you're out there doing community outreach. Is there any good outreach programs that you're working with inside Philadelphia? Because I know you got something going on there.
Well, I spend a lot of time with the Boys and Girls Clubs, both in Camden and in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay.
And like I said, we do multiple camps. One thing I can give Major League Baseball credit for is they came up with the RBI leagues, which is rejuvenizing baseball in the inner cities, and it's in all the major cities that baseball is in, because it's hard for us as African Americans to play travel ball. It's way too expensive. It's just you how much the bats are. You're paying $300-400 just for a bat.
Yeah.
And then you're traveling on weekends. You have two night stays in hotels and stuff, and it's hard for us. So we're really trying to get kids to get back into baseball, especially African American kids.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because because you've always been involved with Philadelphia, so it's like you're always recognized here. So being a batting coach, working with Mitch Williams, how big of the adjustment would it be for you, a coach, him, a pitcher, with the new pitch clock timer and trying to tether around that now with baseball? Because
Well, it's funny, the game, like I said, the game will make you make adjustments, and now Major League Baseball is definitely making you make an adjustment as a pitcher by getting up on the mound and throwing the ball. For me, it doesn't bother me as a hitter because once I get in the box, I'm locked in.
right,
But for pitchers who had other what I call them interstitial thing, whatever they did, to get
Yeah.
themselves do different things that they had to make adjustments. I can tell you, Aaron Nola struggled a little bit with the time clock when they first put the time clock in. I asked him that question at when he was doing a Q&A one day. I knew that was a big adjustment for him because you could just tell. The guy for the Astros who did all that crazy stuff,
yeah,
couldn't do it anymore.
right,
So,
right, yep.
so
They
yeah.
they got what? They got Schultz and McFarland coming up from AAA
Uh-huh.
for the next few series.
Mhm.
Do you think they're going to struggle? I mean, they're not doing that down in AAA yet, are they? With pitch clock?
No, they're not doing that. Well, no, double A and triple A, they have pitch clock.
Okay.
Double A
That's
and
where
triple A, they have pitch clock,
Because
yes.
they're coming up with like a good IRAs. They're coming up with under 2, but that's not going to
Yeah.
transfer over to triple. So they're probably going to hit like
Well-
maybe a 4.
Well, my thing is there's a unbelievable jump from triple A to the major leagues.
I'm
It's like
sure.
now you get, but the thing is, you got to remember who you are. You got to remember who you are
Right.
and what got you there, and you can't be intimidated by
Okay.
the situation because it's funny. I did the HBCU and the Futures games for the All Star, and our poor kid who started the game for us in the HBCU, he had never been in the third deck before. He was scared to death. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I bet, yeah.
There's a big difference when you get that ballpark and that third deck shows up on you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't, slow everything down, for me, you have to develop a routine, what works for you and
Yeah.
what calms you. I'll give you a quick example for myself. At the vet, we had a mood room. And every time after batting practice, I'd grab something to eat. And then I'd go in that mood room. And it's a real small room with a recliner. And I hit the play button, and all I heard was birds chirping and waves. Man, I was so mellow when the game started.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to find out what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now-
Everything has its own script.
Hmm. I tell you, people don't understand. It's so frustrating to me today because guys just don't trust themselves anymore. How many times do you watch a game and see a guy, especially when he gets 2 strikes on him, take a fastball right down the middle
Yeah.
because they're worried about an off-speed pitch or something else instead of listen. You said I said it before, Charles. I'm old school. You can't sneak cheese by a rat. It's not gonna happen.
That's right. That's right.
I'm ready to hit that fastball.
And you would figure that would be the pitch that they would be waiting on anyhow, right? I mean, they probably the first couple of pitches they probably watched a couple breaking balls and all go by, and he's going to get a fastball one of these times, and he's just laying there waiting for it.
Let me ask you guys a question, and this is just in the last few years, and it just drives me crazy because I had coaches like John Vukovic, Boa, and those guys. And I know poor Vuk is turning over his grave to see these guys pull an index card out of their pocket to know where to play somebody.
Yeah,
I can't remember how to play 9 people. Shame on me.
right.
After
Exactly.
our scouting reports and stuff.
Yeah. You guys had scouting reports, and you guys didn't need cards in your pockets. You knew exactly where to play them. And if you weren't quite sure, you had coaches in the dugout that would
Exactly
tell
right.
you where to go. Move over, Milt. No, you
It's
just did it.
Can
or if the pitcher, like for instance, if that guy's late on fastballs, I'm gonna move. because I know he's late. You know, that's the thing about these guys. These guys don't pay attention to the game.
Uh,
You
uh,
think their perception of information is just a little off because they're used to getting stuff in the now. I think technology is going to swing on that a little bit too. Like
I
it's a
mean,
different mentality of players. The last of the tough Phillies, I would say, would be the '08 Phillies. Like '93, hell yeah, '80s, but then it gets weaker and weaker, and there's no longer a vet. And now you got people that
Mhm.
just show up, and it's
Well, you got to understand things have truly changed. I mean, you sit there and we lived on cheesesteaks.
Oh, I'm sure
well,
you
that's what
did.
when you
We lived
when
on
championship,
cheesesteaks. Now these guys got chefs in the daggone locker room cooking whatever they want and stuff. So, like you said, they gotten a little softer.
yeah, yeah.
Did they put out a spread for you guys before the game?
If you want to call it that, yeah. But most of the time, we after batting practice, we would just order cheesesteaks, then bring the
Cheesesteaks.
cheesesteaks in. Now they did have food for us after the game, but it's nothing like it is today.
Yeah.
You
Nothing
were
like
real
it is today.
players and real people. You weren't being catered.
Mm,
Yeah.
well, I think that's half the problem. I mean, these guys make so much money now, and what is the pressure to do anything? It's sad. It is sad, because you know I just love to play the game. I played the game because I love to play the game. It wasn't even about the money. Who cares? Um, I'm from the old mindset of like, when is enough enough?
Yeah.
When is enough enough? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
as a father now, though, I see as my younger teenagers start playing, and when they play through injuries, I'm thinking to myself, that school's not giving you anything. In fact, you have more responsibilities being a student
Mhm,
athlete, and have to
mhm,
maintain higher. You get no credit for it. And then health, you got kids nowadays with all type of injuries that are
mhm,
sustained in high school,
mhm.
and they're living with it their whole lives. And it's just like there's even from college, even there's never a good healthcare program for athletes. That should have been
Well,
something that should be addressed. Instead,
it
it's
should be
just let's
addressed.
give them
You're
more money.
100% right. And the thing is, I tell parents all the time, especially if your kid's a pitcher, you need a clicker. And when he gets
Mm,
to about 60 pitches, you goes, hey, get him out of there.
yeah.
Because I went to a Memorial Day baseball tournament about 3 or 4 years ago, and this kid threw 125 pitches.
Oh,
He
mm,
was like 14. He threw 125 pitches.
wow.
And the same thing happens in college. They don't care about you.
Yeah.
No.
Your arm just
Oh,
drags
Yeah.
you around.
yeah.
Use it
And
till you lose it.
right. Then once you lose your arm, they just push you aside and bring someone else in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
see,
true down
then
like
then
that.
you have people who go to the other side. I heard about this kid that's getting ready to get drafted, and they wouldn't allow him to throw but 30 pitches a game. So how's he going to learn how to be a pitcher?
Yeah.
It's
That's true.
There's two sides to this thing. This kid throws
Right.
90 something. His dad goes, you can only throw 30 pitches.
Turn your vacuum off.
yeah. Sorry.
He didn't mean that, Milt. Once in a while, he goes in and out. He just. Well,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, if you're going to be a pitcher, you have to, as you work through pitching and learning and listening. Yeah, you have to throw a certain amount of pitches. But I mean, it's like, they talk about this Tommy John surgery to kids that are in college,
Mm.
that they're playing in college, and you hear about them like later on if they're getting ready to get drafted, and about, yeah, he had Tommy John. It's that the thing is that they throw the ball so damn fast that you can almost hear the tendons ripping off their elbow.
Uh,
You know?
Well, the thing is though, a fastball is 4 pitches. If you can locate your fastball and have a good changeup, that's all kids need to learn how to throw.
Right.
I'll give you a prime example. Greg Maddux, facing him in Chicago, Grunton throwing 94, getting lit up. He goes to Atlanta, he backs off 3 miles an hour, and he's a Hall of Famer because he executed his pitches. I'm looking at Alvarado. He walked 3 again today.
Yeah.
He's trying to throw 100 miles an hour every pitch
Right.
instead of backing off to like 97 or 96 and hit his spots. Guys aren't gonna hit that. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
effort. It's not effort. It's execution.
Yes. Yes. And that's what they're lacking. That's what the Phillies are lacking. Their execution at the plate.
That's true.
Their plays that they make in the field.
He's
was
coming
that?
up with a sweet. Shogarts, I think that's who he is.
He's back
coming
up
with-
again. Yeah.
He's coming up. He has a sweeper and a cutter. I don't know if that's going to do anything, but
Well, they're part of fastballs, aren't they, Milt?
Well, no,
The
no. He
sweeper and
throws
the
a
cutter.
sweeper and a cutter. He throws a sweeper and a cutter, but he's the only guy in the bullpen that can throw multiple innings.
oof.
You gotta have guys in your bullpen that can throw
Yeah.
multiple innings because sometimes your starter is gonna get in trouble.
Early
But
on.
we have I look at these post game shows and he's like, this guy's not available. This guy's not available. I said, dude, do you remember Goose Gossage throwing 3 inning saves? You know what I'm saying? These
Yeah.
guys back in the day threw Eckersley and all. They threw multiple innings to get saves, not just to close out the game. It's
Right.
just changed. It's just I don't know.
And pitchers pitching into the 10th inning. I remember that and reading about that when I was a kid. I mean, those guys, their arms, like, after a while, it must be like spaghetti, but they throw so damn fast, and they have like, say, 6 pitches. They'll say that this certain pitcher has 6 pitches, and you're thinking, well, a fastball, change up, maybe a slider, because they can work a slider off a fastball, and there's not a lot of motion in it. So, I mean, 3 pitches. If they could get those 3 pitches down, or even the 2 pitches down, and learn how to, find their way through.
Well, we had a guy in '93 that had 1 pitch, and he was a very good setup man. That was Larry Anderson.
Yeah.
Mariano Rivera threw the cutter. That's all he threw.
Yeah.
If you can execute a pitch and you can execute it well, you can get hitters out. That's not even the issue.
Yeah, I mean, you never hear him talking about throwing the ball, having what I'm looking for. Throwing the ball and knowing how to, like, change speeds and change location with a fastball. You never hear them talk about that anymore today.
Another quick story about Maddox. I was coaching at the time. He was just finishing up his career. We were playing the Braves in Clearwater, and US 19 runs right behind the stadium in Clearwater. He came over and said hi, and all of a sudden he goes, "How fast do you think that car is going up there on 19?" I'm like, "I don't know." He said that car is going 64 miles an hour. That's how amazing he was being able to change the speeds on his fastball.
Yeah, he was a hell of a pitcher, Greg.
Oh,
Maddox.
yeah.
I got 2 questions. One for George. What sports did you play while growing up, George? And second, for Milt Thompson. I know you were inspired by Jackie Robinson. Have you ever watched him play a game live? Have you seen him play a game live? Because Jim Salisbury, we had Jim Salisbury on our podcast like 2 weeks ago, and he said you were inspired by Jackie Robinson.
George, you go first, and then I'll go.
Yeah, it's not that long of a story. Just football. It's just overall just athletic. But I played pickup basketball, played football in high school, and then grappling, some Muay Thai and MMA in the Marine Corps, but nothing that's professional. So just an average athlete. 44 years old, can still play basketball and beat my kids enough to where They know they don't know I'm bad at the sport, you know.
You're a competitor, so you can forget about that. He's like me. You're a competitor.
There
You
it
know.
is.
Yes.
I'll give you my all.
I back to me. In high school, I played football also. Football, I ran indoor track and I played baseball. As far as Jackie Robinson, I never got the opportunity to see him play, but I have talked to his wife multiple times.
Yeah. Um, Go ahead, Raul.
William.
William, you can ask what question you want.
Which was the best fan base, Melt?
Man, come on. Oh, yeah. As far as knowledge of the game, it's St. Louis, but as far as our
Insanity.
our home field advantage is amazing here. Playoff time, it is the wildest thing you ever want to see in your life. Thank God I sit in the suite during the playoffs because they never sit down. It's just like unbelievable. I love the energy in this place. It's
Yeah.
at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before whenever you would whenever there was a game, what was your game day motivation before you stepped onto the field?
Before I left my house or the hotel room, I was already ready to play. Mentally, physically. I was ready to play. And that's what you have to be good athlete at anything. You have to be mentally prepared before you get to where you're going. And the drive and the determination is like it's funny, even as a hitting coach, I knew who we were facing 5 days ahead. Just by following the calendar on who's pitching here,
Right.
who's pitching there. I was always ahead of the game. It's funny, you just let the game flow, but you always stay ahead of the game, you know.
Right.
Out of all the pitchers you faced, who did you had the most hit on?
Back to that guy again, Greg Maddox. I owned him. I had 350 off him with 82 at bats. The guy I couldn't hit if I had a boat oar. Dennis Martinez, El Presidente.
Oh yeah.
he was he had like 20 different pitches, it seemed like.
And they're coming in every which way,
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to ask you a question about like on game day, if the team's playing in the evening, they go out during the day and have practice, don't they?
Yes, yes.
And what do they split up? I mean, how do they do that? I mean, some guys are
Well,
hitting and
Well, for me and the way we did it, you stretch together. Like I said, we're a team. We work through everything together. You stretch, you jog a couple, then you loosen your arm up. You took infield, and then there's 3 rounds of batting practice. The extra guys hit first, then the bottom of the lineup, and the top of the lineup, and then you go in and chill for a while, especially when you're home. But when you're on the road, you don't have much free time before you have to get back out on the field again.
right. And are the drills that you guys do before the games or on game day, are they the same drills that you used in spring training?
For the most part, yeah. For the most part, except you don't do a whole lot of spring training is for your cutoffs and relays and PFP, that's pitchers fielding practice and infield. All those things are done, cutoff and relays, all those things are done a lot in spring training. So when the season starts, you kind of know where you need to go or what you need to do. So it's pretty simple. For me, I was fortunate enough. I was an everyday player, then I was a platoon player, and then I was a bench player. So each thing was different. As an everyday player, you got to be smart and keep yourself ready to play every single day. When I was a platoon player, days I wasn't starting, I ran with the pitchers. And then
Okay.
when I was a bench player, I also ran with the pitchers. But about the third or fourth inning, I'd go up and get myself ready in case I was called upon.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
just knowing your role and knowing what you have to do to prepare yourself to be successful.
Yes. It sounds like a perfect way to be successful. You know, and I guess the guys that take more infield practice or the guys that are out there every day hammering away, learning and working with, you know, that has to do a lot for, like you were saying, with running with loosening up with the whole team.
Hmm.
That has to have a lot of uh, a lot a lot to do with a team's success. Uh, you know, just doing what you were saying about what you would do, what you did personally to get ready for a game or whatever. And everybody has their own ritual, or
Hmm.
they should, and
Yes.
they, you know, it's just uh, something to be enjoyed when the people out on the field are playing the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Well,
That's
that's the thing you have to really remember. It's a game.
right.
You should have fun. You should enjoy yourself. Like I said, when the game was over, we weren't rushing to shower and everything and get home. We were still talking about it, and
Yeah.
that's very important to me. You have to, talk about. I guess if I was in Double A when my dad really hit me hard with this. He says, "Son, what you need to do is you need to take 10 minutes, go over what you did well in the game, go over what you need to improve on, and go to work the next day." That's
Yeah. Yeah. And that'll cure any ill that you have as far as playing baseball is concerned. You know.
You have to have a short term memory. If it's a bad game, you go over it and then you flush it. It's funny. I tell this story all the time. I was in American Legion baseball, and my American Legion coach was a scout for Tampa, the Rays, and we would always find a way to get together throughout the season, and he would always remind me that I struck out 5 times in an American Legion game.
You see, forget that. Have another beer and forget that. You know.
I don't even remember striking out five. Like, who
Yeah.
cares?
Right.
Like I said, I flushed it and went on.
Yeah. I mean, what happened? What happened is what happened. There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it is work harder the next day or the next few days to make what was difficult for you during the game much simpler because you've worked on it and you know the ins and outs of what it is that you have to do. You know.
Well, my thing for young kids when I talk to them, or even when I was a hitting coach, I called it one a day. I'm getting ready to tell my age now. One a day was a vitamin, but
Right.
I get one and then I get greedy. I don't go into the game saying I want to get 3 hits. No, I got to get one and then I can get greedy. But where that really comes into play is I'm coming up for that last at bat. I got to get my one. Not saying, oh, I'm having a bad day. No, I'm going to find a way to get my one. That's what good hitters do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hmm.
George,
You
I want
mentioned.
to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Uh, how
Go
many
ahead, William.
countries did you go to when you were in the Marines?
Oh. Oh, jeez. Not all the tropical ones. No. Mainly, I was in Iraq and Japan. That's the stint. But as far as all over the U.S., I mean, I might as well have been traded to the Rays and the Angels. No, I did a year in Japan where I was in Tokyo, which was cool. I got to live a year in that culture and
Did you learn any?
Nakaji, of course, which was amazing.
Excuse me.
Uh,
Did you learn any Japanese while you were over there?
yeah, enough to know not to be where I need to be. Uh, uh, enough to know to go and get out of there.
Keep
Yeah,
walking.
but I mean, it really changes, to live in a culture for a whole year and to realize that one, There's a very honorable culture, and you can go where you can see two atomic bombs drop and see a population completely rebuild and move on from it, but still honor a society, which is amazing. How clean and organized they are, and just how tough and law-abiding everyone is. Yeah, it was a very nice place. I got to climb Mount Fuji, and I guess that was cool. And then I did 2 years in the sand trap, and well, 2.5 years, I would say, and I got to see sand. So best of two worlds, but I didn't get any place really cool. So just really two good places, and a nice 6 hour overlay in Rome where they won't let a bunch of Marines off of a plane, so you could smoke a cigarette on tarmac. But if you were to ask me a whole bunch of other stories about inside those, I'd be like, you got to have like a membership to tell those stories.
It's like our 93 clubhouse.
Yeah.
My question to Milt is, as an athlete, while you were playing in the MLB, how would the trainer keep your guys' nutrition?
We didn't have nutrition back then. We just ate whatever we wanted to. I was fortunate in all my career. I was never on the injured list, never. So I was very fortunate. So I don't know. Just try to take care of myself.
Yeah, that's what it takes. Go ahead, William.
Melt, I wanted to ask you one question. Who was your hero growing up?
Like I said, it was
Who you
Jackie
looked up to?
Robinson, but also my dad. My dad taught me to simplify everything in this game. It was unbelievable how easy things came to me because I didn't make it difficult. It's like I said, it's just a game. He gave me 3 simple words as far as hitting. First thing is you have to be relaxed. The next thing is he called it a step, which is I strided and loaded my hands. And then I threw my hands. I ask kids this all the time. They start laughing at me. I say, where are swings? And they look at me. I said, swings are at the playground. My swing is I attack the ball. I go right to the ball with my hands. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, yeah, yes.
No, was your father a coach, or was he a player?
My dad played. Yeah, my dad, my grandfather, and my uncle all played baseball.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
They once the Negro League seasons were over in the Dakotas, mostly South Dakota. Like I was too young to even remember, but like Satchel Paige and all the main Negro League players would come over and play against my dad and them. We had a Maryland has had a Negro League uh, organization. They had like what 12 teams.
Nice.
Yeah, and they used to play all the time. As they played double header on Saturday, a single game on Sunday, go back to work. So it was the coolest thing. It really was.
See, that's when players love the game. Like
Mhm.
you're doing that for the fun and to prove that who just having a good time and being competitive.
And
Or
it's great because we're going through this thing now back home where we're trying to remake the field, Johnson Park, where they played. And they made it a historical site now, so now we're trying to get the field remade. So it's be pretty good. And the thing about their field, there was no fence, so if the ball got by you, it was going back in the woods, so you had to go find it.
Yeah, yeah. I remember Mike Schmidt saying that only in Philadelphia can you enjoy the fruits of victory and read about how did he put it, and read about it like in a negative way the next day. I forget the exact words, but yeah, I mean I remember when he came out and was wearing the wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just make it simple for you. I've never heard WIP. I've never all my career. I don't listen to negative stuff. That's not me. I try to keep it as positive as possible, because when I talk to kids about this game of baseball, how does a baseball game move along? Outs, 3 outs happen. So you're gonna make outs in this game. So, and the best at my level, we're only successful 3 out of 10 times. So you fail
Right.
7 times.
And you're in the Hall of Fame.
That's exactly right.
And I know MLB they do stuff with other countries. Have you traveled to any other countries with the
When
MLB?
Yes,
And
when we went to when the Phillies played the Mets in London, I did a bunch of camps over there. But their soccer and cricket, that was a hard one.
Yeah, that's a tough nut to break.
Yes,
Correct.
yes.
I remember you telling me over the phone that you went to a camp last month.
Mm.
Which camp was that?
ESF.
July
I
15th.
do camps for ESF, who does fantasy camp for the Phillies.
Wow.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I was. I did a few camps for them.
Is it all kids and adults or
It,
just kids?
it's all kids. It's all kids. Usually from, I would say, 8 to like 14, 15. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say this, and then I guess we're getting close at the end of it. But uh, I I enjoyed the All-Star game when there was a National League and there was an American League. The American League just played the American League teams, and the Nationals just played the Nationals, and then they come together at the middle of the season and play an All-Star game. And a lot of times there would be guys on the field from teams from the American League that you only heard about. You didn't know anything about them. I mean, the only thing you knew about them is what you heard about them, or you got to watch the game of the week with Kirk Dowdy on Saturday afternoons, and picking out different players that they would talk about, you know. But I think the whole thing with the All-Star game, it has become too much of a three ring circus, more or less, and instead of it being a game of I mean, when I was a kid, I couldn't wait for the All-Star game. It was just the majestic, as majestic as it was. I mean, it was just very enjoyable, and yeah, I don't know if that made any sense. I don't know, but
Well, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to watch an All-Star game when the National League strikes out 17 times. I mean, you don't put a ball in play. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's. I mean, these guys throw hard. Don't get me wrong, but the radar equipment is so much better and all that. That's what it is. They didn't throw harder than Nolan Ryan or Bob Gibson or Bob Feller or any of those guys. So
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. It's been a pleasure talking to you this evening, Milt. It
I
was a lot
enjoyed
of
it. I
fun.
enjoyed it.
By,
I'm
by
glad.
the way, Milt, I went to the home run derby.
Oh yeah. That was
Yeah,
nice. Wasn't it funny how poor kid gets booed and he just like stayed calm and collective? I wanted Schwarber to win, but then they started booing this poor kid, and he's like, it didn't even phase him. That's what you love
Yeah.
about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still think Kyle Schwarber should have won in the end against Jordan Walker. He
Yeah,
almost had it.
But he's
Yeah.
won them before,
yeah.
and coming in second place in a home run derby isn't quite that bad a place to be,
No,
you
no.
know. All right, Raul, did
My-
you want to?
yeah, I have two more questions. My first question, my question to Milt Thompson is, with the MLB season almost coming to an end by the end of September, um, what do you think about the Phillies so far, and do you think they could come back and win the division, or win at least the first or second wild card?
It's going to be hard to win the division because they're too inconsistent. Pitching, fifth starter, bullpen, middle relievers, and also we just don't hit. We're not consistent. You know, one day we look like we're world beaters, and the next day we're like can't figure it out. They just can't hit. So until they can get some consistency, I'm a little worried. I really
Yeah.
am.
They're not gonna win if they can't hit the ball. And if you can't bring runners home from third, when you have guys second and third with 1 out or second and third with no outs, and you don't drive any runs home, that's the sign that there's something wrong. Something's not working right because they're not doing what they're supposed to do with the bat in their hand. But,
And what was your reaction when LeBron James signed with the Sixers?
That was unbelievable. That was shocking. But when I think it was like 4 days before he actually signed with the Sixers, he was doing an interview and he kept using the word "the process."
Yeah. It was actually the week before.
Yeah, he kept saying, you know, the process, and I'm like, uh-oh. So yeah.
For both George and Milt, do you have any motivational quotes for the viewers?
Go ahead, George.
No. A motivational quote for your blue viewers. I give my 3 motivational quotes of and I stole it from the Marine Corps, which is good stuff, of honor, courage, and commitment. And it evolves around the tether of honoring your family, your God, yourself, and having the commitment to do that, and the courage to follow through with that. So, and then building off of that. Those are my 3 life advice there.
Okay. How about you,
my
Milt?
best.
For me, it's very simple. AA, I went to baseball chapel, which we did on Sundays before the game. And these 4 things I tell myself every day before I get into my day. It says do more than. It says do more than exist, live. Do more than listen, understand. Do more than look, observe, and do more than talk. Say something.
There you go.
That's
They're excellent. They're excellent words.
William, before you wrap things up, Milt, do you want to say anything to all the Philly fans out there and all the fans that supported you? Do you have anything to
I
say?
just want to say thank you very much. I see you guys all the time when I get out to the ballpark, and it's nice to hear the warm things that you say, and that we have to continue to believe in this team, and hopefully they'll get it clicking at the right time when playoffs start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that. Be great.
Yeah. It was nice seeing you again, Melt.
All right, good seeing you too.
It was it was good to meet you at Mike Barnes'
Pleasure
event.
talking with you.
Yeah.
Take
Milt,
care, George.
Yeah, it was nice seeing you tonight on the show.
Thank
you
you.
too,
I
George.
appreciate it.
Nice
Yeah,
to meet you.
thank you for what you do for the Philadelphia community, and you inspire us and the Philadelphians. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for supporting all the great foundation like Mike Barnes Foundation, where we first met. It was honored to meet you there, and thank you, George, for what you do. Thank you for being in the Marines.
Hey, appreciate you.
Yeah. William, can you wrap? Can you do the closing statement?
Sure thing. Thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Rockin' with Rahul and the Free Amigos. Please be sure to click and subscribe to our channel. And be sure to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Bye and have a wonderful night, everyone. See you. Catch us next week on our next episode.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good
Nice
night.
seeing you, Melton, George.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care.
Okay.
See you, George.
As we shrink away here.